What's going on, everyone? I hope everyone's having a good day. I'm very excited to have you guys here. So, before we begin, I want you guys to go ahead and drop a like, hit the subscribe button, and comment anything you'd like me to do in the next video because this video is going to be fun and it's a little long overdue. It's a little overdue. So, today we're going to be talking about how to trade news, how to avoid the traps in news, and really just what happens during the news and what should I do, right? What should you do when the news happens? So let's get into it. I want to go ahead and share my screen real quick and give you guys a few examples of how this is going to look. So go ahead and start here. We have three different kill zones that I trade. This is exactly how. Well, I technically have four, but these are the kill zones, not the time zones or whatever. So we have the Asian range. This is just a markup I have. Look at my other video. I explain more about it. But today we're talking about news. So a lot of news happens. A little bit of news happens during Asia, but most of the news happens for me because we're trading Euro USD, doing the London kill zone, the New York kill zone, and a little bit during the London close. Now you don't hear much about this kill zone right here. It's a little secret kill zone. I'm gonna make a video on how to trade the London close, and it's very very easy, and I think it's a better beginner type of strategy than the New York session. So what I have here in circled in yellow is what we're going to see throughout the video. It's going to be news releases and why it's a trap and how to avoid it and what to look for in these types of moments. So before we begin, I want to know, do you know when news is released and why you should be careful? So the first thing is, if you don't know when news is released, there's different ways you can do it. There's a way you can do it on TradingView. I never done it myself, so I'm not going to go ahead and show you. But if you mess around, it'll tell you at the bottom here. I'm pointing at the screen. It'll show you at the bottom down here where the news will be released. But I take that off because I like my charts clean. But what I will show you is what I do use. It's called the economic calendar. As you guys can see, my name is Bossman because I don't want you guys knowing my username. But this is how I see it. So what it does is it sends a notification to my phone. Bam. The Fed, let's see here, Fed Barr speech, Fed Williams speech, or the Fed Powell speech. Exactly, this is 9 a.m., so this is during the New York session, right around, it would be right around here. But not today. This is a different day. This is September. This happened today. And it will give me kind of like a map of what to look for throughout the day. So you want to look at this every week and every single morning, just so you get an idea of when the news is going to happen. Second, I want to talk about the news characteristics. So the news characteristics is very, very common. This is what the news is. So before the news, let me go ahead and type news. We have what's called, we have accumulation. We have the accumulation, right? During news, oh shit, whatever. During the news, we have what's called the manipulation, right? As we know, the AMD manipulation. I type slow. I'm sorry, y'all. Have patience. Have patience. And after news, right after the news is released, we have what's called the distribution. Distribution. Bam. All right. Hopefully this kicks in. No. Distribution. Dang. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and delete that, but distribution. Pardon my lack of typing, but this is what I want you guys to remember here. Before news, we have boom. Oh, this song was here last time, man. Switch it up. All right, there we go. This is something I want you guys to remember every single time news is being released here. I'm gonna go ahead and enlarge this to about 28. Boom. These are the rules I want you guys to use while you guys are trading the news. Before the news, we have our accumulation, which is right here. See how that is like moving a little sideways? This is the news. This is the accumulation. They're making liquidity, right? We can use it. I'll give you a cleaner example here in the Asia range in a second. But we have they're making liquidity, right? Then we have our news release. Boom. They take the liquidity, and then right after the news is released, we have our distribution down here. So it's in that way. Now, what's important to note is when you see this, right? This is what the average person would mark out. And I had to learn this on my own. That you would go here, right? Break of structure. I think we can all see the same setup here. Our liquidity grab. Okay, we got our raid power of 3, right? Liquidity grab. So I want to mark this out because what's also important is when the news is released, it is also a trap, right? So you would mark this order block out and be like, oh, we never got that pullback. Maybe it will happen later on, right? But what's important to note is this is not a strong low, right? You'd be like, oh yeah, liquidity down here, right? But we point it out here. Oh, what the heck is this tool? Man, my bad, lack of professionalism. Here we go. Boom, right? See how it's a trap? You guys notice that? It's a trap here. It actually turns out to be a trap. If you took a sell here during this New York, you would have been stopped out. This is not a valid order block. However, what we did get is our liquidity down here. See how this is just a big obvious pool of liquidity down here? Kind of need to get to the point here. My bad for stalling. But you see how it's a little bit of liquidity down here? So it would make sense, right, for price to come back down, but no, it breaks through. Why is that? It's a characteristic that news has. And you might see, oh, it's a one-time thing. It's a one-time thing. Oh, here are the other kill zones. It's a one-time thing. No, this happens a lot, and I want to go show you guys a few more examples. So here's our next example here, right? We have our liquidity buildup. This is a lot of liquidity up here. Liquidity, right? So it wouldn't be wrong to assume, oh, we have look at these retail patterns. This is when you know there's about to be a manipulation. All right, this happens. They make this. They literally make this for the average trader to see. So boom, right? Breaks down, accumulates here. Right? You would have probably said, okay, right? We got our Asia rate high, Asia high rated. Let me go ahead and delete these. Right, Asia high rated. Boom. Break of structure. Boom. My bad. Break of structure. And then what do we have here? Right? We have our liquidity inducement. This is all making sense, right? Valid area to sell, right? Liquidity inducement. We have our order block. And we get a reaction, okay, right? And then price just takes it out. Boom. That's just like the previous example. And this is very, very common. Now, this happened during London. So I want you to note this and how to avoid these. So first thing you want to do is before you get into the news, you want to look at the My FX book and say, okay, what's going on here? What do we have today? What are we releasing? But notice how, my bad. Notice how this didn't hold. And it actually became liquidity for the real price action to continue, right? Look at that. This was actually liquidity. It wasn't a valid order block. Same as our previous example up here, right? This was the liquidity to cause the actual move. So don't get caught into these. Let me see if I can find the other ones that I circled before I look unprofessional today. There we go. Here's another example. So we're gonna go ahead and start here. Let me go ahead and put a replay mode for this example. So here we have another example. Our other example here, right? Liquidity grab. They literally engineer this. This is something I want you guys to know. Look how ugly this is. They like made they made this so that you can think this is how it's gonna look, right? Liquidity, accumulation, right? Boom, a little bit of a trend line here, right? You know, we all know this. Manipulation, build up, boom, right? The lit. We see the triple top here, like everybody knows this. Quadruple top. This is a strong support, right? And then you have our here, right? Our reaction. Boom, boom. Right, so what do we have here? Okay, we got our liquidity, raid. Go ahead and delete this. What's this sound here? Liquidity, break, break of structure, right? Valid OB. I don't remember this song. Oh, it's a nice song. Boom, we got our order block, right? This is where you will get caught. This, remember, news is liquidity. It's a manipulation, right? So we're gonna go ahead and play this out and see what happens. Boom. It's actually a trap. It's actually a trap. So don't get caught in this, man. Happens a lot. Happens a lot. Now I'm gonna go ahead and keep playing this and see. I remember there was another one that happened here, and every time you see a big expansion, I'm gonna show you guys. There you go. You will look at here and you'll be like, okay, right? The same thing happens. Check this out. We have boom. Now I do have to say, you will get a short-term reaction. You will get a short-term reaction. So if you're quick in scalping and you know you can get in and get out, you might actually benefit from it. But for the most part, this is something you guys want to note is when news is released like this is not an order block. This is actually the trap here. So we're gonna go ahead and mark this out as a trap here, just like we did here, right? And we're just gonna watch price do its thing. And I hope I can get this to speed up a little bit, but that's not a valid order block. And I would have thought that. I used to think this all the time that, oh, it's a valid order block, right? We got the big gap, we got the FEG, we got all this stuff. And it's actually not. And it's this. Now, if you do ICT, he will say expect it to be filled, right? But if you do SMC, you would actually expect it to reject, right? We have our inducement caused here. Our inducement, we would expect this to hold, but no. Look, it's in, okay. We would expect it to hold, but actually, it turns out it's just gonna fly right through the top. I hope this can skip a little bit. I apologize. There you go. And you see how it looks like it would be a valid order block, but it's actually the liquidity that ends up causing the real move after. So that's something worth considering. And we have another one later on. See how it causes the liquidity for another pullback that we have here. Look at this one. This is another interesting one. So I'm going to speed this up a little bit. But we have our accumulation, manipulation, distribution, right? This would be a valid area for a sell position according to what we've learned, right? So we're gonna go ahead and speed this up because you guys kind of get the idea of it, and I don't want this video to be more than 15 minutes. But if we extend it, right? Check this out. We do get a reaction. Boom. This is where you get trapped. You get your shorts, and look at this ugly. It's like I got caught here. I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. I got caught here, and I've been sloppy lately, man. I've been sloppy, and I'm not gonna lie, but right here, you take a sell, and look how weird this is right here. It's like engineered. So this is how I know when to keep and when not to keep a trade. I really got caught here, but it was break even in the end, and I actually didn't take a loss. I actually partial too. I partialed like right around here because I was expecting something weird to happen. I didn't expect it to be that weird, but look how weird that is. And it actually does not even give you the reaction we were looking for. Just flies right through, and it becomes what? Liquidity for the next move. There's actually a higher point of liquidity there, but look here again. All right, see here? We have literally the exact same thing. And I'm going to end it here with this final example of, and I'm going to draw you guys just a brief understanding of how this works. News release, big gap, right? We have a big gap here. So we're going to go ahead and mark out our order block, as we know. I'm not even going to mark this whole thing out just to be like, whatever, it's a POI, right? We're going to mark it as an order block, all right? And as you guys probably already see a sneak peek, we get our reaction. Oh, excellent reaction, right? This is it. Money, psych. Actually turns out to be a trap. Oh, and this one I did get caught in. I remember this, and it's actually in my Instagram highlights. I got caught right here. And what does this become? Well, we don't know yet, but as of right now, I would go as far as to say it is a little bit of a liquidity grab, but you kind of get the idea. It's a trap, and this becomes liquidity for something later on to take. So the reason I want you guys to understand this is something you want to just avoid completely. If you're going to be trading news, I want you to do it in a specific way. And or I'm not a financial advisor, but this is how I would encourage you guys to look into it. So, news is released. Before the news, we get, let me put this up. We get our accumulation, we get our manipulation, we get our fake out. All right, as we know, this is how it is. We have our liquidity, and these are phases that you want to understand. Boom, we'll have our break here. For the most part, this is how you can understand. So we have our liquidity, our accumulation. Oh, why is this song gonna keep playing, man? My bad, my bad. Yeah, that's good. All right. So you will be able to get 2 or 3 or 4 even different trades. You get your first trade. This is an easy one. You get the manipulation. This is very common, but it's tricky, and you don't want to get caught. You can get the manipulation down, right? It's the first trade you can take. The next trade you can take is once you see the... Actually, I'm going to go ahead and draw this even more accurately. Like that. When you get your big gap like this, you can actually get a buy position. Now, this is counter trend, and you will actually get caught a little bit down here. But if you can catch it, you can comfortably hold it back to, fill the imbalance, if not to the top here. But I would encourage you to trade this. This is one of the trades you can catch. You can catch another one, a little puny trade, which I don't encourage you. Off of this order block down to somewhere in here, you could catch. This is high risk. And then the final trade is actually catching the buy to the top of the news, which is what I have here. Oh, I don't have it here actually. But it will be the liquidity of the news where price eventually just comes back up. And this would be your trap. Boom. And this is how you would trade news. So I would encourage you, personally, just sit out. If it's NFP, if it's FOMC, if it's CPI, Fed Powell's speech, a lot of these big news events, just sit out. All right, you get actually easier price action when it's lower, medium news and low news as opposed to high news, unless you're a risk taker. But this is how I would encourage you guys to trade the news and what to avoid. Now, this is how you would avoid a trap like this. All right, this is it. This is literally it. This is the setup, the trap. So now, what is a trap? I'm not going to get into the details, but this is something I want you guys to know. So if you guys enjoyed this video, I want you guys to leave a thumbs up. I know it's a little long. I appreciate the patience. And yeah, leave a comment below what you guys want me to break down next and show you guys a few more examples. If you guys think it was a little long, just put that below because I will work on it. I'm actually kind of tired today, worked out and all that stuff. So with that being said, go follow my link tree down below. I have all my links down below. Join the Telegram, join the Discord. Oh, I don't have Discord yet. Join everything, and yeah, I'll catch you guys later.